Wanna talk? So let's talk. Here. Talk. You wanna talk? You gotta talk, you need to talk. News talk.
I talk, you talk to Solomon. I talk, you talk to Solomon. Yeah, let's talk to Solomon. Talk to Solomon.
Welcome back. It's Talk to Solomon time. My name is Stan Solomon, my co-host.
Chief Steve.
And our guest, Major General Jerry Curry. General, I hate to start this show on such a low note, but Newsweek magazine has announced, and President Obama has thanked them for naming him America's first gay president. Now, if you were named America's first gay Major General, would you be happy about that?
Yeah, I would go out somewhere and cut my throat.
Well, please don't do that, because no one's saying that. But can you explain to me, from your perspective, at a time when North Carolina, where they're going to have their convention in Charlotte, just voted overwhelmingly marriage is between a man and a woman, where 30 states, every state that has had an opportunity, including California, that the only places where they allow gay marriage is where a court has overridden the people and or a legislature has decided, but nowhere where a popular vote has said, yes, we want homosexuals to be called married. Now, if they want to do what they want to do, I don't think anybody wants to watch or know. In fact, I think that's I don't really want to know what heterosexuals do. If somebody comes to work or comes to the office or goes on television and says, let me tell you all the things I did sexually, I don't want to hear it. I think that the majority of people don't want to hear it, but homosexuals want you, demand that you, insist that you watch, listen, applaud, and agree. Am I close?
Yeah, you're very close. The American people are not in favor, under any condition, of homosexual marriage. They just flat out are not in favor. Every time you give the American people a chance to vote and to express how they feel about it, they come out very clearly and say, stop, no, don't want to go down that road. That's not what we have in mind. All Obama is doing is he is simply paying off election debts. These people campaigned for him. I'm talking about the homosexual lobby. They campaigned fiercely for him. They carried his water during the 2008 election. He wants them to carry his water again for the 2012, this year election. And that's all this is. This is just simply him paying off a debt and promising them that if they do the same thing, he will take care of them in the future.
Chief, why do you think, I agree with the general, but with Medvedev, he whispered when he thought the mic was off, wait till after the election. For some reason, he decided to just lay it all out there. Hey, y'all, I've evolved. I started as a monkey, and now I'm a monkey's uncle. No, there was different speech. But at any rate, he said, I now believe homosexuals should be able to marry. Why do you think he did that?
Well, there's a couple of reasons, and I want to stick with the theme of this. Earlier I mentioned that in 1963 our Congress looked at a document that was the 45 goals of the Communist Party. One of those goals was to make homosexuality a normal event to disrupt the American family. Also, it creates an avenue to allow communism, socialism to creep into the United States. There was a man, I don't remember his name, he ran for president on the socialist ticket here about 8 times, and he said that America will never embrace socialism, but will, little by little, one bite at a time, embrace liberalism that will lead to socialism. I think that's exactly what's happening here. And here, the next part about this is, there's 2 more things. One is, it's a goal of the Socialist Party and the liberals to eliminate Christianity from the United States. So this is another way to break up the Christian faith. We've already got Obama telling black ministers they should evolve and get on the program here. And then the other part about this is this is a way for society now, because if anybody chastises the president for being a gay president, now you're chastising gay people, which is against the rules, so we're not allowed to do that either. So they just upped the ante with people not being allowed to voice their opinion whether they do or do not like the homosexual lifestyle.
Well said. Now, General, you just heard the chief allude to the fact that the black community overwhelmingly in this country supports the president, but overwhelmingly in this country is against gay marriage, against gay anything, frankly. Even though the NAACP has embraced homosexuality and some others have done it, the fact is that the majority of black people in this country believe in life. They don't believe in abortion. They believe in marriage. They don't believe in homosexual marriage. They believe in working. They don't believe in being on welfare. But they're painted a different way. And now, allegedly, new polls are showing that the black community has evolved, and now the majority of the black community is for gay marriage. Do you believe that?
No. The majority of black community is not for gay marriage. They're for Obama. They're racist. They want a black president, and they're willing to do anything it takes to get them. What this really does, though, it just simply puts us in a position where the moment of truth has come for the black community, and they're going to have to make a decision as to whether or not they're going to stand for what they know is right, or whether they're going to just simply throw it all over the cliff and go and suck up to the president.
Well, let me ask you a question. And this is all guesswork. Start with you, General. Many people are saying that Barack Obama is going to drop Joe Biden, who is a moron, from the ticket and get a different moron. If, in fact, you believe that, I don't know that you do, I do, I think that he'll try and drop Joe Biden. He'll try and get Hillary to run. I don't think Hillary will, because Hillary believes he's going to lose, and that opens the door for her to run, even though she says she doesn't want to, and she's taken all her makeup off, which shows she's laying it all out there. I mean, this is a woman that would you know, scare the paint off a school bus. But at any rate, let's get away from that. That's not nice to school buses. Do you believe that Barack Obama is going to pick a person to run with him that represents a more radical perspective than does Joe Biden, who just basically looks like who was that deputy with Ed Mayberry?
Barney Fife was the
Barney
deputy.
Fife. Joe Biden is Barney Fife, only they don't trust him with a bullet. So who, if anyone, do you think that Barack Obama will pick to run with him as vice president? Maybe he'll pick Eric Holder. Who knows?
I think it's a little too early for that. I have a gut feeling this is going to have to be sort of a crunch kind of thing that's brought in the last minute and is done at the convention or just before the convention, right at it. I think he's going to pull it off that way. If he pulls it off, I don't feel very strongly about Biden being replaced. My goodness, you got to sell your mother to be vice president to this man. And I'm not sure that well, maybe Eric Holder, if he doesn't go to jail, probably would be a good guy.
Chief?
Well, a couple things. First of all, I think that Obama believes he is the Messiah and doesn't need any help, but someone in his campaign is doing something because they're trying desperately to attract women voters to the Obama camp. It's failing miserably because they're turning women off because the Obama camp thinks that women are stupid, which they are not. They're very smart, and they're seeing through all of their games and their rhetoric. But I do believe that someone in the camp is desperately trying to get Hillary on the ticket. I also agree with you that she won't go because it's a disaster, and we'll see something else transpire.
Yeah, I don't know, being first mate of the Titanic is an attractive opportunity for most people. All right, let's move to the next thing, and that is that according to the latest polling data, Romney, who's not even the nominee yet, Romney, who's the presumptive nominee, is ahead with women. Hello? Now, I have many women in my life. I have a wife of 40 plus years. I have sister. I have daughters. I have granddaughters. I have nieces, I have lots of women, co-workers. I cannot imagine that you're going to attract the women's vote by saying, hey, we're for public breastfeeding. We're going to talk about that. We're for killing unborn babies. We're going to talk about that. We're for homosexuality being normalized. We're going to talk about that. And we're for people not having to work to make a living, and we're for people not having to obey the laws to get away with stuff, and we're for people not having to be from this country to come into this country, and we're for illegals. I just don't know how that appeals to women who are for stability and security and longevity and dependability. It just seems to me it's counterintuitive. Am I off on this, General, somehow?
No, I don't think so. I think you're right on target. Matter of fact, but you know, part of this is the women in America have been told to hate the Republican Party and to hate the Republican candidate, and their hate supposedly will burn brighter, stronger, longer than the problem with insecurity among women, for example. So I think that this is a political ploy. I think it's evil, and I mean that. And they're being taught hate, 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 and you cannot trust Republicans because they hate you, and they want the 2% to be not taxed, and they want to just simply take over the world.
General? Chief?
I got a promotion. Well, you know, the one thing that I've learned in my life about women is that they are smart. And I read a report one time about women candidates at West Point in a map reading exercise and talked about the difference between men and women. There's a physiological difference in our brains, and women process information differently. They're gatherers of information and they process it. And so right now the Obama and the Democrat Party are trying desperately to attract women, but what they're doing it in a method that the women are seeing through it, and the women are smart and realizing that they're really being impugned by this.
Well, I like the idea that the one homosexual lady whose name is Hillary Rosen said Ann Romney's never worked a day in her life. Now the woman has raised 5 sons and dealt with cancer and dealt with MS, but she hasn't worked a day in her life. And then I liked Barack Obama's response was, I don't know if I know her. Now she's been to the White House 35 times, but again, General, how are you appealing to women if you say to women, the majority of whom have had children, the majority of those that are adults have had children, that if you haven't had a job at Kmart or Procter & Gamble, but you've given birth to and raised children, that you've never worked a day in your life?
There is no, you know, I had 5 children. One died. My son died. One of my 2 sons died. But no, there is no job harder than being a wife, being a mother, and rearing children. And how anybody could be married, could have children, and bring them up and do all of the things that you have to do as they are developing, as they are growing, as they are learning, as they are following in your footsteps, and then say that woman has not had a job. She's out of her mind. That woman has had the toughest job in the world, which is taking and making another human being who grows up to be worthwhile and a contributor to our life and our society.
Well, I'm always amazed at liberals, some of whom, to me, can tell you why it rains, but don't have the sense to come in out of it. I think to be liberal, you have to be, well, Michael Savage said it best, liberalism is a mental disorder. I would say that he's being kind. I think to be liberal is to be a moron. And to be liberal is to be illogical. To be liberal is to be disingenuous. To be liberal is to be dishonest. And to be liberal is to be sick. Sick. And I think that someday everyone will wake up, but you know, they have so invested in ignorance that they don't want to admit that they've been stupid their entire lives. Now, is that harsh, Chief?
No, and all mothers, and I really appreciate mothers because they've chosen life, whether they're stay-at-home moms or working moms or a combination thereof, they want their families taken care of, and they can easily look, because they're smart, and realize that the economy is going to be better with President Romney than it's going to be with President Obama. And they want that for their families. It's a simple fact of mathematics.
General, let's go there. You would think, and of course it's being said, Americans will always, be motivated by the economy, by their circumstance, and America is in dramatically worse shape than it was when Barack Obama came into office. Now, there were some problems that existed with the all-Democrat House, the all-Democrat Senate or majorities, and a weak President Bush that allowed them not to do the things that needed to be done, and so they pushed the economy over the cliff and then want to blame that all on Bush. No matter what, gas was $1.78 when Barack Obama was sworn into office. It's close to $4. We have, I think it's 2 million fewer people working than we had when he came into office. 2 million. We have changed the numbers so that unemployment numbers no longer represent unemployment. They only represent those currently looking for a job. You think America's figured it out?
Surely America has figured. What this is really all about, it's about leadership. It's about being in charge. It's about accepting the job that you wanted. You got it. I did this in the military all the time. In fact, it got to be one of my specialties, which is they would give me a unit that was falling apart, that was in all sorts of trouble, nothing was working right, and they would say, General, fix it. Or when I was a colonel, fix it. That's why, in fact, I had a 4-star call me up, and I was a 1-star one on the phone. He said, I want you to go and take over this scientific unit. And I said, what? I said, I'm not a scientist, I'm a liberal arts guy. He said, I know you're a liberal arts guy. He said, but we have a unit that has fallen apart completely, and we need somebody to go up there and put a spark of life in it and get it back on the right track. And so they sent me up. It took me about, I don't know, a year and a half, I guess, to sort that mess out. But that's what we're talking about here is leadership, 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 leadership. A leader, and I'm talking about the president now of the United States, a leader is responsible for everything that the nation does or fails to do. That's his job. And you don't go around blaming it on somebody else saying, oh, Bush gave me this bad, rotten crate of apples, and I've had to make the garbage. The answer is you clean up the apples, you throw out the bad ones, you bring in good ones, and you make it all work. And that's what a president's supposed to be doing, and that's what he's not doing. And you would think at least his party would turn to him and say, that's what your job is. And you've got to do that. If you don't, we're all going to lose our jobs and be voted out of office. And if they aren't careful, they will all be voted out of office.
Well, I think you're saying a mouthful there, General, because I believe, and I'm going to say this right now, we're going to have a Republican president. We're going to have a Republican majority in the Senate. We'll have an enhanced Republican majority in the House. And we will have a nation of people that are saying, we don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, or whatever. This is what we want done. And I think the pressure on the president and the pressure on Congress will be the greatest it's ever been, not from the fringe groups, but from the mainstream. Chief?
Well, first of all, I want to compliment General Fix-It because that's an amazing story. In my lifetime, I found there's very few people that can really, truly, actually lead other human beings. And so I commend the General greatly for that success. But going back to our president, he's not even good enough to pick a General Fix-It to help him. It's despicable.
No, he's only good at picking fights, and he seems to be picking them. In fact, his latest fight says he wants to repeal the Defense of Marriage Act, DOMA. He's already said he's not going to defend it in court. Now there's no way in God's green earth that the Democrats, much less the Republicans, would vote for this repeal. So again, the question is, why in the hell is he saying this, General?
Because I think, just what I said earlier, I think this guy's looking politically for votes. He wants to be elected to office, and he thinks that if he makes, even if he loses, he makes this big show that all of these crazy people are going to come out and they're going to fight for him and get out the vote for him and do all the things necessary to get him elected. This is his election campaign. It's all part of the election campaign. Everything this man does from now on through August is going to be done with only one. I mean, everything, including such things as what's going on in Iran, what things going on with China, with Taiwan, with Syria. Every decision that is made between now and the end of August, the end of the campaign going through August, every one of those decisions that's made is made based on one thing and one thing only, and that is political considerations to get him elected.
Now, I want to ask you a question, General, and I don't know that you know the answer to this. I know you've been at very high levels with the general officers of our military. If President Obama were to lose the election in November, but still is the president for 2 more months, if he were to announce after losing the presidency that he was not going to aid Israel if it were attacked, what do you think the military leaders would do?
It's not going to be that. It's going to have to be, what will the congressional leaders do? The president says not going to help Israel. Somebody on the House and somebody in the Senate, and I'm talking about people in positions of authority, ranking members or whatever it may be, are going to have to stand up and say, we do not agree, we will help Israel. And that's what it's going to take. And I must tell you, I believe in my heart that we still have enough Democrats and enough Republicans who are concerned about the future of this country and the world, and concerned about the Middle East, but specifically concerned about Israel. We got enough of those people around, I think, that they will stand up and they will be counted.
Well, from your mouth to God's ear, just kind of wrap this up, Chief.
Well, I certainly hope that the general's right on that last comment, because who knows what's going to happen with our president who lives in fantasy land and not really in reality.
General, closing comment?
Well, yeah. Chief, Chief, why don't you get your Huey and crank it up and come on over and take me for a ride?
I would love that. You know, they just retired the last 5 Hueys from the Army. They're all gone now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the video, but the last 5 were retired just a few days ago.
Oh, my goodness. I flew a lot of hours in that wonderful beast.
It's a wonderful machine. Magic carpet ride.
Great machine.
Yeah, I think President Obama is now wanting us to replace all helicopters with weather balloons and drones. And whether it's in the United States or anyplace else, he doesn't think we need a Navy, he doesn't think we need a military, he just thinks we need a civilian corps and a lot of drones. And that's how he's going to, run America.
The TSA.
General, thank you so much for your time. We look forward every 2 weeks to having you back. Stay well, and again, if I'm elected, you will be the Secretary of Defense. I just want you to know that.
I'm ready.
I know that you are. I would just wish Barack Obama was, and Leon Panetta, who's spending about $1 million a month going back and forth. Good night, sir. Thank you for being with us. And folks, we'll be right back.
Night, Chief.
Hey folks, this is Stan Solomon, and I talk to smart people all the time. I've got one of the smartest people around on how to make money from home. His name is Ted Williams, and Ted, well, it's a tough economy out there.
It is, but if you've got the right vehicle and some good advice, you can make it even in this economy.
All right. Well, how can you make money in this economy if you don't have money already?
Well, I tell people right now that in this economy there are really 2 businesses that I would say work good times, bad times. And the first one costs several $1 million to get involved in, and that's necessity food. You know, you go to the grocery store, people are going to eat. It doesn't matter. We're gonna do that. But can you imagine or think for a minute, what is the other business that everybody's involved in?
Well, let me think for just a minute. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody lives based on a cell phone. In fact, I don't know anyone that doesn't have one, but cell phone business is expensive to get into.
Well, it is if you're buying a brick and mortar store and you want to tie yourself to a conventional business, have inventory, overhead, theft, all the stuff that goes with it, and then you have an opportunity with our business opportunity to for under $300 to be able to operate in 50 states and all the U.S. territories and soon to be international.
Now, wait a minute. Is this one of those deals where you can only talk between 8:15 and 8:22 at night on Tuesdays?
No, this is actually running on one of the nation's largest nationwide networks, and we even have roaming for those people that are traveling between major highways, and we have the top-of-the-line phones. We've got some of the best Android phones, the newest Android phones that have come out on the market, as well as some simple flip phones for people that's all they want to do is talk.
Now, how does the fee for this service compare with the major companies?
Well, right now, if you get all of the service and you use a lot of internet or a lot of data, you can easily spend $150 a month. In fact, some of the companies that are advertising unlimited data are actually giving you unlimited data, but the first gig is high speed, then they slow it down to 56K. You can't even use it. It's unlimited, but you can't use it. With ours, it's truly unlimited talk, text, and web, and the great thing with us, you can develop a business and earn free service for the rest of your life.
Can you earn more than free service? That saves you $100, $150 a month, but that's only the start, right?
Obviously, there's a lot of income opportunity if you want to treat it as a real business. And you know, at under $300 to get started, we have a fast start program for our representatives where they can recoup their investment in their first month if they just are serious. We also have a unique feature. Knowing what we're talking about, if you had a friend and you're not a representative, but you are earning free cell phone service, wouldn't you tell your friends about it?
Especially if it would help me to keep that free service.
Well, what we have is a program where you can refer a few friends, even if you're not a representative. You could be a customer, and you refer a few friends or family members that get our service. That would earn you free service. So our representatives can get it as well as our customers.
So you're saying with a national competitive company, you have the ability to give unlimited, true unlimited service with the latest and greatest phones or less if that's what you want, and that not only can you have free service, but all your customers can have free service by referring people, and I assume if they're your customers, then you make some override, right?
Absolutely. You can actually have a network of representatives that you're earning overrides on, as well as their customers, and you benefiting financially from that. So it's big money at a low cost and low investment, and all the tax advantages of being self-employed and write your own schedule.
This is not a brand new company that just trying this out. This is a proven, publicly traded, high-quality company?
Yeah, they've been in the telecom industry for over 18 years. And, you know, just having money will not get you in the wholesale cell phone game. There's 3 or 4 companies that dominate, and they won't give up any of their share with someone with no experience. Our company has been involved in data billing, customer service in the telecom industry for years and years, and we were the first in the market at the wholesale level.
Folks, this is an exciting opportunity, maybe for you. We can't tell you what's right or wrong. There's a phone number you can call, 800-299-8362, or you can go to cpnlive.com and click on the icon that says Make Money from Home, and all the information will be there. Ted, thanks so much.
Thank you.